Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and today I'm going to be doing a reboxing for Voidfall, the Galactic Box. Now, I've already done an unboxing with assembly and reboxing, but since that time, I've picked up on a couple of tips and tricks that I'd like to share with you to make teardown and setup a little bit easier. And I also have one correction I'd like to share with you. Let's get rolling. All right, so I want to tell you a little bit more about how to pack all this stuff away so that it's easier to set your game up and get playing rather than spend your time setting up. So a couple of things that I've seen people point out, the house trays are not always efficient depending on how you want to play, whether you're playing competitive or solo co-op. But there's a lot of people out there separating the components of those house trays. So taking out the technology cards, taking out the fallen house cards, and you can actually store some of those if your cards are not sleeved. Down here with these other cards, there's enough extra room so you can separate them out and keep them there. Now, one other thing I want to point out is with these galactic cards, galactic events. So I've got them separated out into 1, 2, 3, which is pretty standard. I keep the 3 tutorial cards there at the bottom. Now, as you might expect on Table for One, I'm typically playing solo, so I've got the joint and solo cards mixed in here. But if you don't plan on using those and you're using competitive, you can keep those on the bottom as well. And I've even heard it said if once your whole group knows how to play and you don't plan on doing a lot of more teaches, or if you've got stuff you just know you're not going to use, if you only play solo and you're done with easy mode, you can take those cards and just store them under this tray. Take this whole big black tray out and store it under there because you're not going to use it anymore. So that's a pretty good idea. Additionally, I did this, but realized I didn't point it out. All of my hexes have special side up and they're grouped together in the same type of hexes, so I know where everything is. So I've got my asteroids and Genesis sectors here. Here I've got the rifts and all of the one-off special sectors like the Paradise World and the Novercon Palace. Here I've got the wormholes and I think these are research outposts. And then the remainder of the sectors are the 4 homeworlds. And I think these are communication outposts. So those all go here. So the homeworlds are together. Don't forget they're double-sided. So that way when you're setting up a scenario out of the compendium, you can take all the specific pieces you need, however many homeworlds or home sectors you're going to need, all the other special stuff, and then whatever is remaining, you can flip over, just use that standard sector, because they're all going to be standard sectors on the back outside of the home sectors. So I would definitely recommend doing that as well. So let's put this plastic tray back on. A couple things to note as I do this. Let's put these pieces back away. Single pieces, the tech blocker, the double piece, and the triple piece. And then we'll put the house trays up in the corner. One thing that I did change, let me grab the second one, from the previous video was small change. Everything's organized the same way, but I put the origin card on the bottom of the 3 technologies they go with instead of on the top, because you really only need the origin card when you are playing as that particular house, but you more often need the technologies. So I've got the technologies on top, but I still have these alphabetical from Astrotron to Xenor, from A to Z. If you are like me and you memorized all the house names, then that can be helpful. If you don't want to do it alphabetically, that's fine, but I still recommend putting those stickers on the side that you can find on Board Game Geek that list all the contents inside each of these. I think I'm going to look for or maybe make a better storage solution for these, though. Personally, playing mostly solo and co-op, I think I would rather have the pieces separated by type. So I would want all the technology cards together, all the Fallen House cards together, Origin cards together, and then the unique focus cards together, because that's how I'm setting it up. I might be doing the tech tableau, so I'm thinking about tech. So I just want to look through all the techs and grab the ones I want. And then maybe I need to, whatever. Now I'm passing out everyone's Origin cards. So just grab all the Origins. That's how I would like to organize it. So I'll probably come up with some sort of organizer for that. Now, I also want to diverge for a second and talk about bounty tokens and reclaim tokens. So these are going in these trays here. I have taken all the bounty and reclaims out of these trays and replaced them with these 3D printed parts that a buddy of mine made. And full disclosure, I think we're looking to probably start selling this stuff. I think we're going to make an Etsy store and try and sell 3D printed things, because I think there's more opportunities for this stuff out there, and he does a pretty good job making it. I've been happy with it. So here's these tokens, and they're just blank on the back. So you don't have to use these, our specific ones, but other people are making these out there and selling them, and you can, make them out of cardboard. You can use just replacements, from other games, other types of tiles. But this makes setup super quick, because you don't have to shuffle all these before you start playing. Put them all 48 of these and 27 of these in two piles, all face up, and then try and shuffle them and then put them out on the board and try and not reveal the other sides. You just put these on there, and then when you get the sector, you grab it, and to get your reward, you use a draw bag. So I've got all the actual bounty tokens in here, and I can grab a bounty token and get my reward, and then keep this by my player mat, and the other piece can just go back into the tray. Same thing for the reclaims. Keep those in a different bag right here, and you can flip it over, get your reward, and that just saves a little bit of setup time. So if that's something you want to do, in whatever manner you want to do that, if you get a couple small bags and store these tokens, they can actually fit in here. That's why I bring it up. There's enough space to store these under the safe havens, because nothing else goes there. So then you can take the safe haven tiles and put them on top. There we go. Put these aside. All right, so however you want to do it, if you're going to do a bag drawing mechanism, you can fit the bags and the tokens in there, and then keep the other tokens in the storage bins. So next you can go ahead and put the crisis board here, and then this is where I want to make a correction that a YouTube user pointed out to me, and they were absolutely right. I went and played around and tested a little more. I got the order wrong of these next three items. So on top of that crisis board, that's where you want to put these player mats. And I feel like they've got just a little wiggle room, maybe the very top one, but they should just fit right here. There's an inset for them. Then you put these triple layer cardboard player boards. Oops, I grabbed too many things. There's my problem. Here, and then the galactic board goes on the top. So that way you have a nice flat surface here. So that would be the right way to do it. Next, I want to talk about the player trays, and I think this is super helpful too. So here's the standard player tray as it comes with the focus cards and the influence board, these civilization track markers, home sector population die, the turn order marker, and then your 14 fleet power. There's a few things you're going to need pretty much at the beginning of every single game, regardless of what house you pick, and so it can help set up time to put those things in these trays from the start. Excuse me, coughing fit. Okay, so from the start, you can go ahead and put one corruption marker and one standard population die in here. They'll fit right in here with the fleet cubes. The reason being, you always start with a corruption marker on your player mat on the last agenda slot, and then you're going to need this standard die for the outpost sector. Also, more than likely, most circumstances, you're going to need two Corvette fleets, one for your home sector and one for your outpost sector. So you can start to put the stand together a little bit and put these here so they're ready to go. And the top of the stands will fit up on this other side. You can also because everybody starts with the number 2 glory token, go ahead and put that up here as well. And then put these, there's the plug-in bits on the top, so it's not totally flat. So put that face down. And then your dials will fit on top. And then you can put the lid. Now, a lot of people have noticed, after you've got the dials in there, you can't see what player color is actually in here, and it makes it hard to choose a player color. A couple of good ideas that I've seen is set all the dials to 0, except the dials that match the color that's in there. So maybe rotate, this is blue, so use the science and just rotate this to 15 so you can see real quickly that it's blue in there. I've also seen people saying they take the turn order marker and put it on top, and that seems to fit beneath the lid. That's not a bad idea, but I'm going to go ahead and plug as well. What my buddy made for me, and what I'm thinking we would maybe like to offer to everybody, is just replacement lids. And I think they look super sweet. So they're color coded, and they fit just like the regular lids. So if I just hold it by the lid, doesn't go anywhere, comes off the same way. So it's got the color, so it's really easy to tell what's in there. So I've got 4 of those here. So however you decide to do it, take your player trays, and again, put them where they normally go. I do think these look pretty nice. I'm excited for them anyway, to use them at least in my box. No changes with these. Go ahead and put the larger ships here, and then the common supplies here. And those can be swapped if you like. You put the common supplies on the bottom and the ships on the top. It's not really going to make a difference. Here, I'll demonstrate. And I also wanted to show you, because Corvettes and Voidborne fleets are pretty common in every game, you can put some of these together as well. I think I've got maybe 5 or 6 of these set up in here. And I set up 10 Voidborne fleets just to help put it together a little bit more quickly when you set up. You can do more than that if you want. There's plenty of stands. And you could certainly do the same thing for destroyers and sentries. You wouldn't be able to do it for the dreadnoughts and the carriers, just because of the way that they pack in that box. But you can get a lot of these ready to go between games, and then it's one less thing you have to take apart at the end of your game as well. That goes right there. Now here's a slight modification. I'm going to put this tray next. There's nothing beneath it. It's just this tray here. And on top of that, I'm going to put the tech tableau and then all the booklets. Typically, the tech tableau goes beneath the tray and the booklets go on top. But I find that every time I go to unpack it, I'm grabbing the booklets, setting them aside, and then grabbing this and like trying to sort of get my fingers under this if I can. And sometimes it comes with it, sometimes not. But really, this just helps to get the booklets out of the way quickly. So if you store it this way, then when you're ready to go, you've got this. You can set it aside. You know where your tableau is. You come back to it when it's time to set up. But it just helps to get these booklets out without damaging them or having them flop around or anything like that. So those are the updates that I have for you. I would be curious if you've got anything else. If you've got any good tips, leave them in the comments. I would appreciate it, and I'm sure other viewers would as well. So let's get a box on this thing. And that's what I've got for you today. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you've got other tips. And I hope that helps you to be able to play this game more often, because it's a pretty cool game. And don't let setup be the obstacle to getting it to the table. So that's what I got for you this week. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe and leave a like if you haven't done so. And again, leave some comments if you see something that you think should be different, or if you've got another suggestion, I would love to hear it. And have a great week. I'll see you next time on Table for One.